What is up, everybody? This is Jonathan Washburn, the Dean of Mortgages, coming at you on Friday, August 5th, a little bit after 1 o'clock. I wanted to talk about something today called temporary buydowns. What are they? Are they a good idea? Should you do them? All that good stuff. So here is kind of what we got going on. You have probably seen a lot of stuff in the news about mortgage rates. What are mortgage rates doing? What is the deal here? Well, as you can see, mortgage rates are actually higher than they've ever been since the housing crisis as of today. Gotten a little bit of relief on this over the last month or so, but yeah, right now, the average mortgage rate is higher than it's been since the mortgage crisis. This has a lot of buyers wondering, how can I save money? How can I lower my rate? Well, there are two ways that you can actually lower your rate, and I want to talk through those. The first one that a lot of people know about is called a permanent buydown. A permanent buydown is a great way to get some long-term savings on your mortgage, but generally, you're not going to see those savings for a few years. One discount point is 1% of the loan amount, and usually one discount point will lower your rate between a 0.25% and 0.5%. You see here, you might be able to pay 1 point on this loan, $3,000, to lower your rate from a 5% to a 4.75%. That'll save you about $45 a month, but you won't break even on that for over 5 years. And you see, a lot of people are a little bit worried to do a permanent buydown right now because they think that rates are going to get lower again before they even make even on that, buydown. I am of the same opinion. I have not been encouraging anyone to buy their interest rates down very much at all over the last 6 months. But there's another thing that makes a lot of sense for a lot of people, and this is called a temporary buydown. Essentially, with a temporary buydown, you can save money in years 1 and 2, and that money isn't going to be wasted if the rates do get better. Here's how it works. Let's say you're getting a $250,000 loan for a house today, and your interest rate's going to be 5%. All right. Well, the principal and interest at 5% would be $1,340 a month. If we drop that to 4%, the principal and interest would only be $1,194. And if we dropped it to 3%, that would drop all the way down to $1,041. You could use what's called a 2-1 temporary buydown to lower the interest rate just in years 1 and 2. In this scenario, the seller or the real estate agent could pay for the buyer to have a 3% interest rate in year 1 and a 4% interest rate in year 2 before that rate settles back in at 5% for the rest of the term. That would be a savings of $301 per month in year 1 and $148 a month in year 2. Total, that's $5,388 of savings in the first 2 years of your mortgage. Essentially, the seller gives the buyer $5,388 at closing to dramatically lower that buyer's monthly payment for 12 to 24 months. Well, what happens if rates get lower? No big deal. If the rates do get lower, unlike with a permanent buydown where you would have lost all that money, you can actually apply any of that extra money that you haven't tapped into, that $5,388 the seller gave you, you can actually apply that to your next mortgage. You can use it to buy the principal down of your next mortgage. Honestly, guys, everybody wins here. Who wins? 100% of the people in the transaction. The seller can still get a really high price for their house because they're helping the buyer lower his payment. The buyer can dramatically lower that payment for a few years, and if rates get better, he can always refinance without losing any of that money that went towards lowering the interest rate. Now, here's where you're like, John, this seems too good to be true. Is it too good to be true? Why haven't I ever heard of this? Honestly, here's why you haven't heard of it. Because most lenders don't even do 2-1 buydowns right now. I am a broker. I can actually write loans with over 100 different lenders as of August 5th, 2022. Most of the lenders that I write loans with don't do this, but there are a few that do, and the terms on these loans are really competitive right now. I am very convinced that the reason a lot of loan officers, there's 2 reasons a lot of loan officers don't talk about temporary buydowns. Number 1, they don't understand them, or number 2, they can't offer them, so they don't want you to know about them. That's why the Dean of Mortgages is here. I'm here to educate you on some awesome things that exist out there. If you want to save as much money as possible, especially right now when interest rates are high, check in with your loan officer about a temporary 2-1 buydown or maybe even a 3-2-1 buydown. If your loan officer can't do one, maybe you should talk to somebody else like me that could potentially help you. This is John Washburn, Dean of Mortgages. School is out.